I hear this village, which explains to see so many. Perhaps those we met previously were
I do wonder if I took out Aerith and just put Yuffie in, if we could just punish him more, but I'm afraid Yuffie's going to get owned because she's going to be too close to him all the time. And I'm also still holding out that I can hopefully poison him during his last phase. It's yet to happen, but...
It's on you.
I almost feel like he's immune to it at the end of the fight or something, but... Yeah, I'm doing a little less damage, even with full chi. So this weapon does do less damage than the other one. Oh, I don't have Deep Protect on Tifa. Who do I have it on? Aerith? I don't think I have it on anyone. Yeah, whoops. Just gave him the absolute business there.
One more shot.
No.
This fight's not over yet.
No.
That's it. You got this.
I got this.
Okay, up and out.
Keep it together.
All set. Bingo. Ha. Yeah. It's on you. I'm coming. Ha. This one's for you. Get him.
Run, Aerith, run.
Hang back. Deal with that.
Now for the thing. Ready or not? Here it comes. Okay, you ready?
No.
Finish it. Strike one back. Yeah, there's no help. Get that power. I can help too.
Stupid poison.
You've got this.
Taking over.
There, keep it more.
It's on you.
All set.
That's awesome.
Come on.
Trying to keep him away from my teammates here.
You ready? Take that. You're gonna feel this one. There, bring it. Big trap. There's no can do it.
I got you. Keep it together.
Okay.
I'm coming.
All right.
Sorry, but I got it. Come on, team.
Gotcha.
Don't feel bad.
Now's our chance.
Seize the field.
Did absolutely no damage there, but
This one's for you.
just gotta keep the pressure on, that's all.
Go on. I'll show you what I can do.
Wow, Aerith's almost out of MP. How's that possible?
Your turn.
Hang back.
You ready? Take that! I'm not going to I don't know how I did that. Here goes.
Oh, how are we gonna deal with this? See if I actually survive that. Gotta start hitting him with stuff or he's gonna get mad.
Don't overdo it.
No, why we're reprisaling now, I guess? Great. That's great. That's fantastic.
So it's my turn? Why don't you leave it on?
Don't overdo it.
Don't die, Tifa. She died.
Try using it.
Like what? I mean, that's so. Just feels like everything goes wrong right when I need it to not go wrong. I got everyone's limits up. Like I just need to spam limits and I get out of that.
You okay? Pushing it. Still up to it.
No, dang it. Did not want that at all. I mean, it might actually be nice. I think most of his stuff's physical, but that didn't cancel that? Oh, it did cancel it. Okay. Oh my god, we're immune. Come on, Ascension.
Nothing personal.
I'll take care of this. Finish him off.
Watch this. Take him down.
Strike party out. Now for the rest. My turn. Lend me your strength. Go on.
This is gonna be awkward.
This one's for you.
Oh, nice. Canceled that.
It's your turn. Put my on anything. Don't give up.
It's here.
was way quicker than I thought it was going to be. Thank God. I think we just do that. Holy moly, dude. Like,
Just like that, okay?
the amount of stuff that can go wrong at the last part there. And it was mostly me just missing dodges right when it mattered most, you know? But yeah, just hold limits, and then if he
Besting Odin. A single
if he
mistake could have
warnings,
spelled
hit him with
certain
limits.
mighties on Tetskin. This
and then
master
that
of
puts
the
him
blade
in
will
fervor,
certainly
and then
help
even
you
if he
find
does
paths to victory.
Antenzuken, you could stagger him, you know? So like that's definitely the play.
I can't help but wonder where we'll meet next. So many fascinating possibilities.
That's definitely the play if you want to do that fight early. Just hold on to stuff, and then if he warnings, you just blast him. Then he goes into for some reason limits put him in fervor, even though it's not what the assess says. So then if he's in fervor and he starts his Antenzuken, you could spam and stagger him and cancel it. I didn't even have to do that there, but and yeah, I swear he is completely immune to poison halfway through that fight. And also it felt like D-Brave and stuff was hard to hit as well. I'm not sure why you guys keep going on about the assess text. I did it fine without the assess knowledge. Well, that's not the point. The point is it should not be wrong. Or give misleading information. Regardless of whether or not you can do it without it. But yeah, I swear he's like, and you need to give him ailments to stop the warnings, but yeah, I didn't even have Deep Protect that time. It's not wrong, you needed more damage. I mean, it didn't explain, like what? Okay, just because you did what it said doesn't mean it's fine. What kind of logic is that? What June just posted is like a more accurate description. So like, would that not be better than what's on there? I mean, I'm not saying it's like the worst thing ever. I'm just saying like, seemed like it was giving kind of the wrong information, because it says like dodging will put him in fervor, but it's more like dodging will stop him from warning, and then the damage puts him in fervor. Seems to be what's actually going on. Thank you, Nomadic. I mean, regardless, like, oops. I guess it's just, I guess like the problem is like, it feels like it's really detailed. It feels like it's really detailed, but then doesn't give all the information. I think that's like where the problem is. If it was more like vague, then it would be like, okay, that's the point. We're supposed to figure it out. But because of how detailed it is, it feels like, okay, this is exactly how it works, you know? I think that's the real issue. Is like, yeah, it's like... either be extremely specific or be like vague, but in the middle, sitting in the middle makes it tough to see like what you're doing wrong, I suppose. Trying to put on some stuff that I want to like level up. Because I think like, because it made it sound like if I didn't get hit, he wouldn't Zantenzuken, and that's just not true, you know? And it also made it seem like if I don't get hit, he'll fervor, and that's not true either. You have to do damage. So. Which, like, I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect, but given that that's like a big mechanic of the game, is like assessing things because every enemy works really differently. You just kind of expect... you just kind of expect to get the right information, you know? Well, you're not supposed to fight it yet, Mike. You're supposed to fight it later. You're supposed to either weaken him or just be stronger, but I literally paused the story and ran back to find Chadley so I could fight him the moment he was available to make it as hard as possible on myself. So that I could challenge myself and also learn the fight. Which in the end, I didn't really learn the fight very well. I learned all the tells, but I still don't really know exactly how it works. Anyways, real quickly before we move on, I wanted to talk about the update, because there was an update, which is interesting. Remake didn't get an update for a really long time, but I said like this game will probably get an update quicker because it's such a massive game and it's more open and there's more potential bugs and issues. So they did update the game, but it's really pretty much nothing that we talked about. It's like really minor bug stuff that we've not even run into. Fix some typos and omissions in text. I don't think we've seen any of that. Fixed a bug that occurred on the map under certain conditions when controlling a character. We don't know what that is. Fixed a bug in battle where Lunatic High and Watcher Spirit could be easily cancelled. So apparently that's like a balance fix. Unless cancelled literally means like they don't even go off. Fixed a bug in battle in which enemies would stop moving. Haven't seen that. Fixed a progress bug that occurred during quests. Haven't seen that. Improved frame rate and overall game stability. That's big, but we don't really know to what degree. This is the big one that is actually noticeable. Added sharp and soft options to the performance mode. So there should now be performance sharp and performance smooth. I really doubt we're going to see an actual change, like, with the naked eye with this. Like, I kind of doubt it's going to be obvious. And especially to you guys on the stream, there's probably, like, no way you're going to really see a difference. But I would imagine sharp is probably the best thing to go with. Unless maybe you're on, like, a really small display. You could tell on a 4K monitor. Well, you're not even... it's not even on 4K, though, if you're on performance. But maybe just because it's a higher quality monitor, you could notice. Improve the graphics quality, which is also great, but to what extent, we don't know. The camera's reverse setting is now applied when controlling a gliding chocobo. The camera's reverse setting is now applied to the sharpshooting minigame. Enhance guidance support while climbing the Ivy and Mithril Mine. That seems odd. Like, people didn't know how to climb the Ivy. But of all the things, like, to help, that's like the one thing apparently people are struggling with. I feel like there's more things that people would struggle with if they struggle with that, but okay. And then added difficulty settings to the customization screens for the minigames Fort Condor and Gears and Gambit. So I guess like once you get into the game and when you're customizing, you can change the difficulties. Another really weird thing to change. But that's it. Just like really minor random stuff. Nothing like major. So I do wonder if they're going to change, if there's going to be like other patches where they tackle some like bigger stuff. Not that there's really anything that they absolutely need to tackle. What was the thing that we said a couple days ago that we were like, yeah, they really need to fix that? It was I think it was a tutorial or something that gave the wrong info. Forget what it was. Was it for one of the mini games maybe? Can't remember. There was something in particular that was like just straight up the wrong information. I don't remember what it was, but we had said like, yeah, they really need to fix that. Yo, thanks, Vexside. Really appreciate that. How's it going, Illusion? Had problems on a 4K display with the PS5. I'm on a 2K display. And other than the obvious stuff that everyone has issues with, like the lighting and stuff, it's been fine. Rosie, thank you very much for the gifted sub, by the way. You are entered into the giveaway. And they give you the Prime as well, the 28 months. Thank you for using your Prime. Appreciate it. Okay. Man, that was an adventure. Happy we did that, though. What an awesome fight. Like, regardless of Assess being perfect or not, that was an awesome fight. All the summon fights are really unique, and that one in particular, teaching you to dodge, teaching you to punish, stuff that hopefully we can do like in hard mode. We can really implement some crazy stuff where you're needing to really not get hit. Going down more of a path of difficulty with that could be really exciting. It's just cool that they're willing to do fights like that, you know? And that's why I kind of like this full power thing, because they're able to make fights uber difficult, because the idea is you go and get the crystals and make it easier. So, you know, that's a really great way of balancing the difficulty for different players. Being like, oh, you can do it full power, or you can do it weaker, and then no one complains about the difficulty because they can customize it how they see fit. So, really like that idea, and I feel like they're not holding back, and they're making the full fights really difficult. Granted, again, I like literally canceled out of the story and did it as soon as possible, but still, from what I'm hearing in the chat, people struggle with that fight even later, so yeah, it's good stuff. Why did I stick it out with Aerith? I wanted a party member that was staying away, because every time he was attacking and Cloud got caught in it, he would get angrier. Most of the time Cloud dodged stuff, but I was afraid if I had Yuffie and Cloud, he would be whacking my teammates the whole fight.
We go into the reactor or what?
New bridge just went in, you know. Might shave some time off the trip.
And again, I was still trying to poison him late into the fight. It never ended up working, but I was trying to put down Arcane Ward and spam him with poison. And it worked at the start, but could never get it to stick after. Joshua, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that.
Sir, we've received word about the Nibelheim survey team. It appears they were ambushed.
By Wu-Tai?
Indeed, and so it begins.
the new bridge I see up ahead?
Man, I'm really curious about Wutai and what's gonna happen. Like, I really think Wutai is gonna be like a huge part of the third game. It is not just gonna be a Yuffie area, it's gonna be like a whole... Like, there might even be like a whole war that we fight through in the third game. We've been told there'll be no DLC, but we don't know yet. They could always change their mind, but this is a much nicer bridge. See a weapon? I don't want you in my party, but... Ooh! Unfettered Fury. Imbue your unbridled attacks with non-elemental magic, increases stagger. Holy moly. Or like, let's just let Tifa do the thing that other characters can do that make them useful against her, because all she really has is Focus Strike for pressure. Well, this isn't... Well, yeah, it's probably just, like, more pressure. Increases damage dealt by unique abilities by 15%. Man, these weapons are pretty crazy. That's fine, I'm just leveling it up. I don't really care where my materia is at. I don't know if I'm gonna be forced to use these two characters for very long, or if we're just in a story thing. This is interesting. So, I said before...
He's in Fate's hands.
Sorry, I keep hitting that. I'm not used to using the Pro Controller.
What is it?
I don't remember what happened here. To Zack.
Oh.
Bridge broke. He fell, got swept away by the current. I think he's... dead. You never forgot, did you? That's why you've been acting weird.
Didn't want to upset you. That's all.
Zack was my friend. How could I just forget him like that? Degradation. It's hollowing me out, bit by bit.
You're wrong.
You remembered, Cloud. It'll be okay. It will. I know it.
Thanks. We gotta tell Aerith about this. She deserves to know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. But let me be the one to do it.
Why?
Because she and I are close, you know?
Hey, are you two done yet?
Yep. Be right there. Let's just keep this between the two of us. Promise?
Man, that's wild. So, I feel like so instead of being like a big gotcha moment during the live stream scene, instead we're like slowly revealing things. So like, depending on how they do it later, depending on how the payoff is, this could still be just as good as the original in terms of like the big gotcha of Cloud Zack. But this changes so much with like Tifa. Tifa is being like Omega jerk here. Like way more than in the original. People are already like, a lot of people dislike Tifa in the original because of how much she ruins things. But in the original, she ruins it because she's quiet. She's more of hiding, not lying. Here, she's just straight up lying and smiling through it. Like, in the original, it was like she, you know, Cloud would be like, tell her something, and she'd be like, oh, I mean, maybe. Like, she didn't just straight, I mean, here, she's straight up staring into his face, smiling, saying that he remembered when she knows he didn't. Like, that's wild. That completely changes her character. Because she was not like that in the original. In the original, it was understandable that, you know, A, she got knocked out during it, so she doesn't necessarily know if what she's remembering is correct. B, she's nervous to tell Cloud because he might freak out. I mean, just look at what he's done up to this point. You know, there's like many reasons as to why she is the way she is. But even so, she never like straight up lies to him. I mean, like, I guess technically maybe once or twice she says something that's untruthful, but it's very like, they do it in a way that's like, obviously she's hiding something and she's not super confident about it, you know? But here, she is just staring right into his eyes, lying to him. So it's really interesting. I mean, she is like, she's going to have to really justify this in the future. Well, I mean, she just stared at him and said, you remembered the truth. Like, you remembered that Zack died. And then she said, let's keep this between us so that she can not tell Aerith because she doesn't actually think Zack died. So she just straight up lied to him. That's why she said, it's not because they're friends. It's because she wants to not tell her. So, I mean, you can't say that's not just a straight up lie. She's just straight up lying to him. In multiple ways. She's lying to him in the fact that she remembers. She's lying to him in the fact that that's what happened. And she's lying to him in the fact that, oh, I'm going to tell her, and then she's going to not tell her. Or she's going to tell her but be like, Cloud, I don't think Cloud's right. Oh boy, he misinterpreted again. What am I misinterpreting? What is there to misinterpret? Did she not just lie to his face and say... Okay, what did she not lie about? She just said, you remembered, when she does not remember Zack in particular dying here. That does not happen. first of all, he has a mask on. Second of all, it was Zack that got saved by Sephiroth, and Cloud's the guy in the mask. So she lied about that. She lied about telling Aerith later, unless she does tell Aerith later. But I'm guessing when she tells Aerith later, if she does, she's gonna, you know, say it in a way that's like, I don't know if Zack actually died, because I don't remember seeing that. Like, I don't understand what you're saying she didn't lie about. Right, she knows that Zack didn't drown. And Cloud just said, I think Zack is dead. And then she was like, well, you did remember, so that's a good start. So she's trying to feed into like, you're right, Cloud. He did die. And then he was like, we need to tell Aerith. And she's like, let me tell her. Because she knows Zack didn't die. How in the world do you say that's not a lie? In what universe is that not a lie? Like, what? How did I misinterpret that? That is the biggest bold-faced lie possible. How in the world is that not a lie? Yeah, no, she 100%, even throwing out OG, like, pretend OG never happened. She just straight up lied to his face twice. Like, that's just a fact. Like, from what has happened in the game so far, it's just a fact. She just lied to him twice. That's just, we can't argue that. That just happened. Now, whether or not this leads to whatever, but she did just lie to him twice, which is much different from original. Original, she's more of a just being quiet about it. She's not smiling at him going, you're right, Cloud. Absolutely. But let me tell her. Like that, you know, that's like crazy. That's way different. That is way more disingenuous than she was in the original. In the original, there's a very good argument you can make that she just simply didn't know what she remembered and didn't want to upset Cloud and further Sephiroth's ability to control him. Which again is probably what she's doing here too. But, you know, so she's just, I'm gonna not say anything and just roll with it until I know what happened. No, you misinterpreted this scene very wrong. She is 100% saying, keep it a secret, Cloud, I'll tell her, because she wants to tell her the truth, or the fact that Cloud doesn't know the truth, or just not tell her at all. But, yeah, I do think that, I'm wondering, like, how we get to this, and that, like, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is later, either in this game or the third game, when everything is revealed, Tifa's going to say, I lied because I didn't want Sephiroth to continue to be able to control your brain, or didn't want you to freak out, or, you know, didn't want you to push me into a vat of Mako again. Like, the one thing that's interesting about this is, like, Tifa's being a lot more disingenuous, but she also kind of has a bit more of a right to be disingenuous, because Cloud did just try to kill her. So, in a way, it's like, it is a bit more understandable that she would just lie to his face here, because she is doing everything she can to keep Cloud normal. You know, it's, I mean, it's almost getting to the point of, like, someone who's being in an abusive relationship keeping the status quo. I mean, we're almost like to that point where she is legitimately trying to say all the right things just to keep Cloud level-headed, no matter what it is. No matter, she can lie, whatever. Just keep Cloud at a level head. Right? So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And I think this is going to come to a head later. You know, Cloud's going to be like, why did you lie to me? And she's going to be like, because I just want to make sure you didn't kill people, you know? And then it's going to become a big argument. So it's, yeah. Really interesting. But I just wanted to point out that, like, Tifa is being much more disingenuous here than she was in the original. This is a big change from her character in the original. But again, I think it makes sense here. Because, I mean, she is practically, you know, just doing everything she possibly can to keep Cloud level-headed, because who knows what he's going to do next. So really I mean, we're taking, like, the emotions of the original and multiplying them by, like, 10 here. And it's really awesome. My only issue is I prefer the big gotcha moment in the original, having had zero idea who Zack is until the big moment. But I think this can work as well. I think slowly building up to it, but not knowing the full truth can work. And given that we're going through 3 whole games, it's harder to keep an elephant like that for that long. As we said last week, the elephant is too heavy to carry that far. So I do think that this works as well. And we, you know, to be fair, to give some criticism to the original game, the gotcha moment with Zack can be tough to understand the first time around because you have no idea who Zack is. So when he's like, oh, it's Zack, you're like, who's Zack? But, you know, whereas here we're going to know exactly who Zack is. And when the big gotcha moment happens, it's going to be like, whoa, you know, we actually know what this means. So, or there's a new elephant, you know, but regardless, yeah, no, I think that this works really well. But I do just want to stress that it is very different from the original. In the original, we practically know nothing about Zack until the moment. Whereas here, Cloud is already saying Zack. He's already asking Tifa if she remembers. You know, it's really wild. This is nothing that would have ever happened before. Literally ever. Because by the time he ever would have asked her about this, he already knows the truth. So, really cool. We're exploring these better. And this works so well with Cloud and Tifa's relationship too, because they're closer and there's more going on there, more emotion there. So having her lie to him like this is going to blow up later.
All right, let's see how this plays out. At least put up a fight.
Back to obliterating everything with Windstorm. Back to the huge. Dude, why are Mega Potions are always on sale? I have 50 Mega Potions. All about those Mega Potions. I haven't had any audio problems like that. I will say that the music is like mega loud during cutscenes. That's the only audio issue I've run into.
I'm dying here.
Ooh, Twin Brains. Do they work similar to the last game?
Run like a chocobo.
Well, they die. So, I guess no. See, I don't like that, though, because I like the battle music being loud. I just don't like it when I can't hear what people are saying during the cutscenes. They just need to lower the music during the cutscenes, and it'd be perfect. What the heck? What was the purpose of... Oh. What? What? Oh. I was thinking about that earlier. It is really odd to me how much, and I mean, we haven't seen a ton yet, but there is a good amount of Before Crisis lore in this game and even in Crisis Core. And Before Crisis is like, it was a mobile phone game in Japan, and that's it. We've never seen it ever again anywhere. Not even a little dialogue you can read in one of the games, like nothing. But Dene, who's apparently in a picture in this game, is from Before Crisis and nothing else. Elf is from Before Crisis and I think nothing else. And we haven't seen Elf yet, but I feel like Elf might be in one of the games because he's pretty important. He? She? I think it's a he. And like, I feel like a lot of the Turk stuff is going to be relevant at some point. And maybe even Rufus stuff. I'd also be curious to hear if, like, we ever hear anything about OG Avalanche in this game. If we do, then yeah, it'd be really, like, if they decide to, maybe this is kind of a wild speculation, but maybe we get the first game, and then we get a remaster of Crisis Core, and then we get this game, and then we get a remaster of Before Crisis, and then we get Part 3. And Part 3 has some Before Crisis stuff in it. So they remaster Before Crisis, and then, you know, to get us ready for Part 3 because some of those characters show up in Part 3. Kind of like they did with Crisis Core and Zack, pretty much. It was like, let's redo Crisis Core so that when you see Zack in Part 2, you have a general idea of who they are. But I don't know. I don't see a remake of Before Crisis. Like, they just don't seem to care about Before Crisis at all. So I kind of doubt that. But it would be cool. It would work out. It'd be a cool timing. Yeah, I think I'd rather have a Dirge remaster, because there's a lot of Dirge stuff in Remake. Not so much here so far, but there's a lot of Dirge stuff in Remake. So I would rather a Dirge remaster where the game's actually good. Pause chat.
Mako Spring.
Wait, so this whole thing's materia?
Wow, it's so much bigger.
Naturally formed materia. And look at the size of it. Astounding. For the Mako energy to condense into something like this, it must have taken an eternity.
Hey, we should get out of here. All this Mako's making me queasy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man, this is wild. Like, we are actually witnessing Tifa, like, you know, trying to hold Cloud together at all costs. HP to MP? That's odd to get now. That's odd to get, period. I can't imagine what circumstance we'd want that. Well, actually, this is going to be nuts for hitless challenges. That's going to be incredibly useful for hitless stuff. Other than that, though, I can't imagine that being useful. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I mean, we're especially with all the emotion going into Cloud and Tifa's relationship. It really does feel like they're going for like this abusive relationship take, where, you know, Tifa's just putting herself in harm's way to stop Cloud from hurting anyone else. It's wild. It's really fascinating. And I also love how we have, like, you know, originally when you go through Nibelheim for the second time as Cloud, he doesn't, like, point anything out. You just go through and fight Materia Keeper and boom, boom. But I love how we're hitting all the moments from the story, but Cloud is, like, reliving them in his head. It's a cool idea.
Easy.
Gotcha. Watch yourself.
Keep it together.
I'm your buddy.
What? I mean, like, okay, before I was windstorming to pull everything in, and then hitting everything, and it was giving me a ton of ATB, and that's why I was killing everything. But now Windstorm is actually just killing everything. I don't know what it's actually just one-shotting everything. I mean, I know I'm a little over-leveled, I think, now, finally, but... Holy moly. I mean, I upgraded her magic. Somewhat. And apparently that's all it was required.
Let's do that again.
Apparently that's all we needed for her to just go nuclear. I really hope I can fix my controller.
Are you sure we're going the right way?
We're almost there. Once we get past this part, then...
I have, like, stick jitter. It's not stick drift, it's like stick jitter. But I'm hoping that cleaning it out will fix it.
Come on.
Because it's not
Let's
drift.
find another route.
So it might be like some dust on the
I've already found one.
sensor or something.
More climbing, but hey.
To be fair, though, this controller did last a long time. That's the controller that came with my PS5, so can't be too sad. I've also dropped it like 100 times, so yeah, I can't be too sad about it. It's Zoo. Oh. Let's try this new move.
That's a good word to describe me. I'm thinking legendary.
He had it coming. Dude, I drop my controllers all the time. I mean, not all the time, but like often. Such a klutz.
All done.
You got it. Impressive. Now with extra beguiling ninjas. Just take that. Unstoppable.
It's a party!
Run like a chocobo. Not too shabby.
You know, I can't say I've ever taken this route before. You gonna be okay, Yuffie?
Oh yeah, no problem. This is nothing compared to what we got in Wutai. Massive sculpture sculpture of Dechow, carved into the face of this one cliff. All us ninjas have to scale it. Part of our training. Never let me climb much, but I freaking loved the reward.
Which was?
Dechow beans, of course. Got to eat up when we made it to the top. Ah, tell you what, I'll give you some when we finish our climb.
That's kind, but you really don't have to.
Oh, she wants to. Man, we're getting some good stuff. Hey, we got Blade Burst. Getting everyone's like really good materia weapons. Materia weapons that aren't just magic based, but like good materia weapons. I want to level up Elemental. Oh, that's nice. Does look like a Monster Hunter weapon. I feel like all of Cloud's weapons are beefier. Like his weapons in Remake, I feel like the Buster Sword was the biggest one, and the other ones were like smaller for the most part. I feel like all his weapons here are like as big as the Buster Sword, or bigger. Would you guys want, just out of curiosity, would you guys want a, what you call it, transmog system in this game? Just, you know, use the Buster Sword but make it look like this, etc. I was thinking about that the other day, just because I'm curious like how much dev time that takes, because I don't know enough about game design to really know, but being a casual viewer looking at it, you would imagine it's literally just like tick the box that says load the Buster Sword model. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like it's something that would be difficult, but you never know. With game development, it could always be harder than we think. But, I mean, surely they could do it. It's whether or not the dev time would be worth it. But I would imagine a lot of people would really like that. I think it would be worth the dev time. They didn't do it in Remake, and they didn't do it here either. I'm just curious if that's something they would maybe add or something. Didn't they add it to 16? I'm trying to remember. They added the new skins and they added the new weapons, but didn't they also put in a transmog in 16? So maybe they'll add it. Maybe they'll add it, but it seems like Square Enix does this a lot. They make a game and then people complain about a certain thing that they want in it, or maybe not complain, but just ask for something in it. And then they do it, and then another game comes out, and they don't do it. And it just kind of feels like the teams don't communicate much at all. Like, it would be nice if the internal teams of Square Enix could somehow communicate and be like, hey, people really like this in our game. You know? But it seems like they're so separate, they don't communicate at all. I feel like that's happened in multiple games with Square. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, if you're a Final Fantasy VII remake dev, and you hear that in 16 people really wanted a transmog system, wouldn't you think you'd think to yourself, wow, that would be good in remake too? Like, people really care about the Buster Sword and stuff, like more so than 16 weapons. You know? No? You don't think people have a bigger sense of emotional attachment to the Buster Sword than a random weapon in Final Fantasy 16? Should I take you to that wiki page that tries to ship Cloud and the Buster Sword? So, so you can get an understanding of how much people love the Buster Sword? The what? Oh, it exists. What the heck? Just a regular dragon? Wait, this is dope. It's just a dragon. Just a regular dragon.
Come on.
I assure you it exists. I called the men in black to come erase my memory after I saw it, but they never came. So, unfortunately, we're still here.
Did ya?
Blindside.
You're gonna get what's coming to you.
Man, this guy would be strong. Omni Flurry. Okay, wait. I have a feeling. I wonder. If this is basically the new True Strike. Does it change my regular attacks? Not really. Tifa, man. Gaming. Yeah, I'm really curious. I wanna hit something that's staggered with that and see what happens. All right. I think this would be a good spot to stop for a minute so I can grab lunch. Story is probably about to happen.